Heather from Earth Mama, and today we're going to learn how to grow squash on top of lawn with very little work. So let's get started. So this was never seeded with grass. We weren't going to bother seeding it with grass because we were going to put the deck up. And so what you have here is just a mix of weeds that have blown in and sprouted. You see some nettle there, some thistles. And it's not a really nice grass to cut, and it gets lots of full sun. Alright, so what I did was I just went and put out some pieces of cardboard. Those are actually liquor box dividers, which I just went and got from our local store. And I put them in a circle. I like circles. I like to use shapes in the garden, and circles represent balance, which we can use right now. And on top of that is just a scoop of compost from my home composter. Squash are only going to take about 3 months. Some varieties, you look on the package of the seeds, you can see some that are like as low as 55 days. So, you know, it's June right now. Hi, Ivory. I'm putting mine in. It's June. I'm going to track the progress on them as the summer goes on, but giving until October or November, you can easily still have this started in July or even into August in some areas. So don't get discouraged if you don't have anything growing yet. It's never too late to start, and this is a super easy way to grow squash, which is a very nutritious vegetable, into the winter just on top of lawn. All right, so I've just gone around and made piles on top of the cardboard using a soil mulch mix, which I have in that bin right there. And I put a little hill with a divot in the middle of each one, and I'm going to go around now and drop seeds into those divots. I've got my pile here. I put 2 squash seeds into each one, and the reason for that is because they say you should always do 2 just in case one doesn't germinate, and then you pick out the one that isn't thriving as much. That's what they say. I never do that. I always just end up growing both plants if they both grow. So I'm just going to take some of that surface dirt and cover those. That's a stick. Cover those up. I'm still going to leave that valley in the center, because once I mulch over this, it's going to be a little rain catching bowl that will hold the moisture in that little valley. Alright, so with this one here, I'm going to show you the technique that I'm using. This is the hole here where my 2 squash seeds are in there. I just pushed a little bit of dirt in over top. Then I'm going to reach into my mulch bin here. Just going to grab a handful, put that a little bit in the hole. And I've got an old flower pot here. I'm going to stick that in the hole. And then I'm just going to cover around it with the mulch. If I was using 2 hands, this would be faster. Make sure it's hilled up a bit around the cup. And then when you pull the cup away, you've got a nice little indent right there. And when you water, the water is going to pool into there. So the next step is just give them a little water. See how that water pools a little bit in the indent. And that's what you want. It's going to be the same thing when it rains. Give them a little water. So that's what it looks like, folks. It took me about 20 minutes work all told. When that plant is done for the year, in the spring or whenever, I can just rake those piles out and it'll go back to lawn or that mess of weeds that you see right in front of you. And I'll keep you updated on the progress of how these do through the year. But I did end up putting two of the hills to cantaloupe seeds because my kids do like those. All right, so that's what it looks like, and not a bad morning's work for me, and I call that coffee break. Getting in the shot. So these are what they look like now after 1 week. The seeds are coming up in all of them, except for those two over there, which were the melons that I planted. But you can see the squash starting. So that's really it. I'm going to give those two melon seeds about another week or so to see if they will germinate. If not, I'll just tuck some squash seeds in those last two piles, and I'll post another update video later on in the summer so you can see how they're doing. Just a general note to say 3 months in to COVID, and if you're still surviving and keeping your mental health in balance, that's fantastic. And if you're not, reach out. It's tough times, and we have to rely on each other, and be kind and ask yourself how you would like to be treated in any situation, and then treat others that way. It's not all that hard to be kind, and I believe that if we would all try that this world would be an even more beautiful place than it already is. So that's that. Stay safe, everybody, and happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Bye for now.